Hello, everybody, and welcome to a lawreplays.org interview. And today I'm blessed to be with FnaticMSI. And why don't you all introduce yourselves so we know who to associate our voices to?
So I am Shay. And something else should I add?
Cyanide?
Yeah, I'm Cyanide. I play mostly the jungle role for Team Fnatic.
And Melazon?
You skipped Max, but hi, I'm Madison. I'm a support player.
And Max, you have to forgive me. I'm not sure. It's not. I don't see magic fingers in XP. Oh, now it's XP.
Yeah,
XP.
Yeah, I'm XP and I play the AP carries mostly.
And magic fingers, you play carry, right?
Yeah, I play AD, I play sometimes Bruiser, and partly even AP, I just like the random fill up.
Alright, well to start out, I would like to ask all of you, whoever wants to answer can answer, what teams stand out to you most in the EU other than yourselves? Like, who do you respect the most in EU?
I think both AAA and SK.
Against All Authority and SK Gaming, okay.
Now Millennium.
Now Millennium, sorry.
Oh, Millennium, okay.
Yeah, I forgot that they changed it to gaming.
Is there any particular reason why? Is it just strength of the players individually, or?
We face them the most, like in every high-end tournament. There is SK and there is Millennium. So that would be it for me.
We have like really good relations with both the teams. We met them a lot offline, so we gotten quite to know them pretty well.
Alright, do you guys have anybody that comes to mind when you think of the US server?
Also DG?
I like
Just hot
both
shot.
teams. No, I like both teams, CLG and TSM. And Double Lift.
Double Lift.
Epic Gaming.
Which, Epic, yeah. All three teams. Do you guys manage to scrimmage against them very often? I don't think you would. Is there still like bad lag issues when you guys try to go across the server to play?
Yep.
Well, lately we haven't played much anyways, but yeah, tournament realm isn't really best for it.
Alright, next question is, have you guys stepped up at all, like, your commitment to gaming and practicing together after the announcement of the $5 million prize pool for Season 2?
Not really yet too much, because it's pretty far away and we're having some problems, but we're trying to.
So trying to step up, but just, it hasn't happened yet, or is it just...
Yeah,
okay.
we haven't like had the thought to set up what we really want to do together or anything, so.
Fair enough. After winning DreamHack, did that affect you guys' mentality going into just games in general, or just did it affect, you know, how you felt about yourselves playing just in general?
A little bit for sure, but I don't know. Like I don't feel it, but I think it affected me a bit. But I don't feel it. But yeah. Well, for sure it boosted my self-esteem in the games. Like because winning something that big gives you like, yeah, oh, I won, cool.
Alright, this question is mainly for Shushei because we see you playing solo top more than anybody. How do you feel about the current state of the top lane? Like, what are the champions that are the strongest top right now, and why?
We actually changed players now. I'm mid now, the caster, but I think the most annoying champion for me on top is Irelia. And why? Because she's Irelia. So, she got like a very huge kit. She heals herself. Her ultimate cooldown is 60 seconds, so she can like farm the lane, push a lot, and yeah, she got true damage against the tanks and stuff. So yeah, she's really strong because with the tank items she can do more damage than physical damage, DPS. I mean, than melee physical DPS, for example, that goes full AD build.
You said that you're playing mid now, so when did that change kind of come about, and like, was it after Cologne? Was it like, were you thinking about it before then, or like?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. Nice.
Yeah.
What's the biggest reasoning behind that?
I feel best in the AP, and it's really hard to play AP against bruisers right now, so they are kinda out of top. And Pekka wanted to try bruisers, so yeah, we just switched.
You said that Pekka once has been playing bruisers. Is that how you guys have reacted to the bruiser solo top change? Is PK playing the solo top now, or is that role kind of up for grabs?
I think it depends. For example, I feel really cool with Lee Sin, so if we would pick Lee Sin on top, I would play Lee Sin and then Pekka would play some caster mid. But if there would be other champions, like, I don't know, for example, Singed or Jax, then Pekka would play them and I would play AP mid. Just depends who feels strongest with what.
Fair enough. So you guys kind of made dual mage standard in US for a while after DreamHack, and I mean, still when it comes to, unfortunately, I don't know as much about EU as I would like to, but definitely when we think of mage players, we think of PK and we think of Yu Shushe. So both of you, who do you think are the strongest casters in the game right now? Like the top tier?
I wish that, well, the most used right now for sure Cassiopeia is really nice. And Anivia has always been really good for the team because of the wall and the mass CCs he got.
Morgana and Oriana.
Yeah, well, Morgana and Oriana are OP right now. So those 3-4 heroes I would say are the best AP to play right now.
Gragas, if played well, is also really strong.
Definitely.
But in terms of real AP carry, I always feel like it's really mainly Cassiopeia, isn't it? Like, else you mostly look out for lots of utility on your AP carries, because it's gotten quite hard against the tanky meta game to really carry games with only an AP champion. So you always look out for real utility-filled champions in the middle. Or at least quite often. Like the Nivea wall, for example, or the Oriana utility bulk shit, or Morgana too, of course.
Well, that just answered my next question pretty well, but I'm going to ask it just in case anybody can add to that. But I was going to ask, what makes champions like Cassiopeia and Nivea so strong right now when, like, even 2 months ago you saw more like Annie Malzahar, the straight-up burst champions, compared to Cassiopeia, who is more sustained. She has a lot of burst, but she definitely has a lot more sustain than the others, the other mages.
Yeah, just because of the bruiser meta, you can't burst down the bruisers really, so you need constant DPS to wear them down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
and-
was mostly about the combo, and if you cannot kill one guy with the combos, it's not useful.
And Cassiopeia also has a lot more mobility. Speed boost
Yeah.
from Q. So
And all
Also
the other really
small
played
casts.
mages. All the other played mages are really mostly high up there because they're so full of utility too. Like Morgana with a blue buff, that's like a strong initiate because you just, while you're pushing through your pool, you can always throw one Q in after the other, and as soon as you hit a squishy, that's a teamfight initiated in a very great way. I mean, it has 0 cooldown pretty much once you get a blue buff. And the shield is shit strong too, of course. And the
Very.
Nivea wall is a great initiate too, and Oriana, of course, the same.
All right. This next question is more towards Melazon and Magic Finger. What goes into your thought process when you're picking bot lane champions? Like, do you decide you want to play a particular carry and then you pick the support that kind of helps that carry more, or do you kind of think of the two champions as a unit, like interchangeable, and pick a team as a team?
Well, most of the time it's like around picking a good combo on bottom, and if you have the chance and the other team already picked their carry or their support, of course countering them, because there's a lot of abilities there. Most important still that you have a combo that fits together.
Since you are picking them as a unit, thinking them as a group, what defines, like, is it winning the bot lane is the characteristics you're trying to fill out, like just winning the laning phase, or do you see it more past that, pick a combo that's good late game, mid game, or is it kind of a mix of all of them?
Well, that's pretty much changing right now, because until a while ago, you needed your bot lane to be filled with utility to just back up your casters, because they would carry you anyway if you just had like some great utility on the bottom lane, like an Ashy Arrow or something. The real carry Ashe wasn't even that important. The most important part was that you had a bottom lane that would really help the casters burst your opponents down in a good position. And yeah, now that the bruisers got so strong, I guess that really changed. You need it's also really dependent to the setup, what kind of AD carry you want to pick.
Yeah, I think most of the time it's just about having a good combo that can dominate bottom or at least be even up, so and that you don't need help, but you're still pretty resistant against ganks, so your jungle can stay on the other lanes and help them more.
Yeah, definitely. Sustaining the lane has gotten way more important. As I said, that's the difference to Ashe. Ashe could lose her lane as hard as she wanted to. She would still be shit useful later when it came to team fights. You didn't need to win your lane with an Ashe.
You talked about the bruisers changing what goes into your thought process for carry support. How about the recent changes to Soraka and Taric? Is that changing the bot lane?
Yes, for sure. Like Sona has become more of a good pick lately, because well, Soraka isn't really a too good choice anymore. Like the healing, it's not enough anymore for like if you play Soraka, Tristana for example. I mean, before the nerf, it really worked out fine, but now the cooldown on heal is just way too big for that combo to work, for example. And now, yeah, other supports have gotten stronger.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly counter poking anymore. Before, Soraka was the ultimate counter poking supporter, would always work great against Urgot or against Caitlyn. All those high range pokers, they were pretty useless against Soraka. And now it's completely different. Now it's more for when there's a fight coming up and you need a fast tank boost on your carry or something.
Would you say that those poking champions might be coming back then, since Soraka's taken a little bit of a hit, or has the game gone in a different direction?
I think they're definitely coming back. Like for
Yeah,
example,
certainly.
Janna Urgot has gotten an insanely strong lane, and almost anything with Caitlyn is also really strong right now.
Yeah, Urgot is actually really insanely strong at the moment too. Mainly because there is not really any strong ways of healing up anymore. Poking has gotten a huge buff.
Then again, it's also that the classical late game carries like Tristana and Ashe, well, then they're not really too useful on bottom anymore. Tristana, for example, just takes way too much hits from poking due to low range on low levels.
Which one would you say is stronger between Urgot and Caitlyn, or does it depend more on the support or just the players?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I personally really think that Urgot is, along with Kog'Maw, the strongest AD in the game at the moment. But maybe that's just me. But the thing about him is that he has just such massive damage output through the entire game, while at the same time it's he's pretty much similar to a bruiser in terms of the way he impacts team fights, because he's also a massive tanky bulk that can't be bursted down, but still deals massive overtime damage. At the same time, he has an insanely good ultimate to initiate fights. It's really cool with Thranduin's, for example. Great way to start fights.
That would be
a lot of utility.
That would be pretty impressive to watch. The next question goes to Cyanide, and it's about the jungling. And what factors do you think about when you pick a jungler? Like some teams want to win the jungle, and so they'll pick a control jungler. And like you saw Nunu a long time ago, it's been a while. Often for that reason, what do you think about when you want to pick a jungler?
Yeah, well, of course, how it fits with the team, and do you want how the jungler speed is, and how does he gank, just generally. I think it's not so important what jungler you pick for the team combo as much as with others. It just generally are those good junglers that can fit any combo pretty much.
Are there any specific champions that you fear on the enemy team when you're jungling, like certain counter junglers, or just, or even champions that tend to invade the jungle from mid or top or anything?
No, well, you don't really see that too much in the competitive play.
Fair enough.
New and I don't know, stealth champions not too viable at the moment.
You talked about picking, when you pick the champion, you think about both how well they jungle and how well they gank. What's the balance there? what's more important? Is it jungling well and being a strong character late game doing damage, or being a tank, depending on who you pick, or is helping the lanes more important?
It's both. But if you had to choose one, it's the helping the lanes.
This one is for the team as a whole. When you guys go to scrimmage, not necessarily like tournament play, but just scrimmage, do you guys go in with a predetermined strategy that you want to try out, or do you just play whatever you want to play at the time, and then when you're out of it, you kind of analyze it and figure out what went well and what didn't go well, and then change accordingly?
Depends on person. I want to play something else every game, but they don't wanna let me.
Most of the time I just wanna try out certain bottom combos against other combos, because just if you play against an organized bottom lane, it's just way different from playing solo queue or normal games. It just doesn't compare at all. Like there might be lanes that you totally destroy everyone in normal games and solo ranked, even because the people don't have enough coordination. But then if you play against a serious team, you just see it doesn't work out.
What would you guys say? I mean, you guys have two carry players, Magic Fingers and Lamia. Which one plays and why? Like, is there any thought? Is it just the general team comp? Like, if Magic Fingers wants to play something other than carry, I mean, is there a difference between the two players as a play style? Like, I could specifically ask Melazon, like, how would you describe them playing carries? The difference.
Good question. I think Lamia sometimes plays a bit more defensive, or also depends on the champions, because, for example, Max plays a good Caitlyn, but then again Lamia totally hates Caitlyn, never wants to play her. And yeah, kinda... Yeah, I mean, if I play with them, we just play different combos if I play with one guy. So I can't really compare them to each other.
Do you guys think about who you're going to play, put in a roster for different teams when you're facing different teams in different events? Since you have 6 players, I mean, does it change from game to game? Is there a different preferred start lineup?
Would be nice if we would manage to get something like that, but in fact it's more like if we are lucky and happy if we actually manage to get 5 online when there's a match coming up, so we just take whoever is there most of the time.
I
That's
see.
how it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
I can definitely understand that. It's hard to get 5 people that want to play. It really is.
No, it's not. I'm always up. Silence also is always up.
Yeah,
Play.
that's true. We got some nerds and we got some yeah,
Slackers.
chillers. Yeah, slackers, it would be the mean way to put it. Yeah.
Slacker Max.
I'm totally reliable. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
When you guys go and play in a tournament, how do you guys pick the champion team? Is it just whatever's good at the time? Do you guys think past the maiden, just like try and force something on the opponent that you know you guys can pull off, or what's the mindset?
When it comes to picking or the banning?
Well, both. How do you ban?
Well, banning is most of the time you look either for like champions that one of your opponents, manages to play exceptionally good. Like, for example, I don't know, you probably want to ban Nidalee against Hotshot. And, yeah, that's one thing. And the other thing is if you think that one in your opponent's team is, like, only good with a certain minor amount of champions, you maybe want to weaken him a lot by banning his main champions. If you think that really screws him up. And else, of course, to protect your lanes, if you have, like, a specific wish for a bottom lane, you sometimes try to outban the carries that really counter that lane.
Or then just ban the OP heroes.
Yeah, that anyway, of course.
And try to get as many of them as possible.
Alright, well that's all I have for you guys, and unless you have any final thoughts to add to that, I'll let you guys go. Alright. Thanks for the interview, guys. I really appreciate it. It was an honor.
Thanks, take care,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.